This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, Marvel is suing the heirs of its own creators.
What?
Shang-Chi becomes the highest grossing movie of 2021, and Sony Pictures announces Venom Day, and nobody noticed.
Lame.
Plus, trailers and teasers from the Netflix event for Cobra Kai, The Sandman, and others, and we review the Party Thor episode of Marvel's What If? All that and more, all in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, September 27th, 2021.
This is Frank Grillo. You know me. But who are you? Are you the discerning, sophisticated type of person who enjoys all the latest comic book and superhero TV and movie news? Pop culture references, witty banter? Me neither. I'm just here for the dick jokes.
Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up. Talk it, we heard it. We funny, disturb it. We talk it, we heard it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
What's up, hello listener? Thanks for pressing play and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we deliver comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And joining us, a dude who is surprisingly worthy enough to lift Thor's hammer. It's Rug Boy. Rugs, how'd you swing that one?
I lift it with my penis.
Oh, I gotcha.
Oh, shit.
That
You
makes
got to
sense.
use, cantilever,
Yeah, it's all about the geometry of the
Yeah.
wing dong. So your penis is worthy. Got it.
Well, yeah. It's never been touched by anything. So it's pure.
Rugs, how you feeling this week? Last week you were a little bit down. I feel like you're back this week.
I didn't want to disappoint everyone by being low energy. I was compared to Anthony, goddammit.
Oh, we have that comment. We'll share that. I can't wait for a Rug Boy rant.
I was not looking at my phone.
No, you weren't. No,
Okay.
He doesn't do that. That's Anthony's
Yeah, no
gig.
girls want to talk to me.
That's Anthony's gig. Listen, though, before we get started, we're talking about last week's episode 400. It was a milestone. I don't know. Was it? Who knows? But we had a lot of listeners write in with some sound bites, new sound bites to add to the soundboard. And as always, they need to go through the official Jock and Nerd soundbite approval process, which I just made up today. So
Did you pull them?
Nerd.
I did. So, Rugs,
Oh.
we're going to start with you. I need to know if you approve the following soundbite.
I really don't give a shit.
What do you think? Can we use that one?
I think, yeah. I think
Okay.
that you're going to be
That was
using
a soundbite?
That was a soundbite. That wasn't
Oh, I thought
Rugs.
he just said that.
No, that's the new
Yeah, and I
soundbite.
really don't give a shit if you use it.
Perfect.
I thought that's what I thought he literally was responding. I literally don't give a shit to your in advance to what you were about to play.
I was thinking it. I didn't say it.
Thanks to listener Seth Morgan suggested that one. That was his request. So let me write that down. That one is approved.
Fucking fantastic.
Stanley approved. Anthony, this one is suggested by Jess Rivera. He caught this. I need to know if you approve this following sound clip.
I stick it up my asshole.
He thought it would go great with this.
I fucking loved it. I stick it up my asshole. What was the context to me saying something like that?
I don't know, but I'm glad you said it.
Listen, you
Yeah,
said
play
it.
it, whatever,
You caught
keep
it.
it.
All right, approved. Yes.
I stick it up my
Fucking
asshole.
fantastic.
What the hell did I stick it up my
You're going
asshole.
to be famous for that. Fine, Anthony.
I'll write that down. Where's the intern?
I'm going to be a pioneer. I'm going to be the pioneer in the podcasting community for. Maybe I'm just like. I'm not going to say anything anymore. I'm just going to stop. I stick it up my asshole.
That's fine. We
I was
got
going to
two,
say something like, I'm not going to say that.
we got two new clips that stop while you're ahead. That's the rule here. I'll tell the intern to push those through approval process. Thank you very much.
What, do you
Just a
remember
little
what the
business.
context was for me saying that?
You were talking, but it was in the beginning. I don't remember. I just clipped it today. Listen, though, this
gonna
is how
stick it up my
carefully
asshole.
our listeners are listening. Just so to point that out. Anyways,
Well, I think we were talking about like enemas and stuff. I think I started bringing up coffee
oh
enemas.
yeah, and then
or
we went to
something
the
like
shit
that.
coffee. That's right.
Yes,
You're
Yeah,
not a coffee
definitely.
guy.
We were talking
That's
about
what it was.
shitting and
Fuck,
coffee.
it was about
Monkey coffee.
Yes.
Monkey,
Yes.
And then I was
monkey
talking about
shitting and
the-
coffee.
if you do a coffee enema, that's probably where I said I'd stick it. I stick it up my asshole. I fucking loved it.
Yes, those are great
Yeah.
together. So Okay, now I have your official on-record approval. These clips will be used.
Now, did you get a call out?
No, these are the two that came through last episode. People enjoyed. So.
Nobody cares about Imran.
Nobody cares what the fuck I have to say because I talk enough. And
you do.
Yes. So let's fucking get started, you bastard. We got a lot to talk about.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
All right, we're going to start with a crazy story that involves Disney, Marvel, and the law. Basically, the headline here is Marvel is suing the heirs of its creators, Stan Lee, Steve Ditko. Essentially, now we have come full circle.
Oh, shit.
If you think about it. Here's what's happening. Have you guys heard about this, first of all?
Yeah, I heard that, Steve Ditko's, I didn't know he had any family, but his family and Stan Lee's family were trying to sue for rights to reclaim Spider-Man and a bunch of other characters.
Termination of copyright notices. Okay, so here.
I heard about this too. I didn't really understand what was going on.
Here, I'm going to just read a little bit from the Variety article here because there's a lot of law words. I want to get it right. It says here, Marvel filed 5 lawsuits on Friday seeking to block the heirs of comic book creators from reclaiming copyrights to many of its most popular characters, including Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange. They did this because heirs of 5 Marvel authors filed dozens of termination notices with the U.S. copyright offices. If the notices were to succeed, they would not prevent Marvel from using the disputed characters, which were created by multiple people, but they would require the studio to make payment to the heirs of these creators. So these notices are filed by this dude, Mark Toberoff, is a veteran copyright attorney. He recently fought on behalf of Jack Kirby, and who created a lot of Marvel characters, and Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, the creators of Superman. It is because of him now. You will see everywhere it says, with thanks in creation, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in every Superman thing. So basically, this guy is arguing that the Marvel author's work led to multi-billion-dollar franchises, and that and that their heirs should be allowed to share in the wealth. Okay, he represents Larry Lieber, Stan Lee's brother. Don Heck, who created Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Don Rico, Gene Colan, created a lot of characters. Marvel is arguing that the characters were created under work-for-hire arrangements and that the heirs have no valid claim to
I think that's bullshit because Stan Lee was the publisher of Marvel. He's not working for hire. He's the head writer. He's the fucking creator of that brand. So his contract, okay, maybe Steve Ditko is work for hire, but Stan Lee is the publisher of Marvel Comics. He's the editor-in-chief. He's beyond a work for hire. It would be like the equivalent of a creative director or something like that actually is part of the company.
Right.
That is the company.
He is the company, right.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just, from what I know about Stan Lee, he's not a work for hire type guy. So them trying to pull that blanket over Stan Lee, I think is disingenuous.
Yeah, there's a lot of things dealing with like there's a Copyright Act which actually permits heirs of things to terminate grant of a license after a certain amount of years.
Well, look, I think that it doesn't really matter if it's legal. I don't really think it matters if it's legal now. With all of this bullshit of people getting chastised on the internet for doing the wrong thing, like Disney should be chastised for fucking making fucking billions of dollars off of these people and not even throwing them some money. Like throw them some fucking money. You guys have money coming out of your assholes.
Steve Ditko literally...
I would stick it up my asshole.
Yeah,
I stick it up my asshole.
Steve Ditko literally, like, at the end of his life was almost broke and, like, homeless,
penisless,
I believe.
And penniless.
Penisless, because Marvel was not paying out. The lawyer, Toberoff, also argues the comics were not done on a work-for-hire basis as the law was understood at the time. This work-for-hire law is from a Copyright Act from 1909.
But that's not social justice, is it? Right? You want social justice? This is actual real social justice. This is, yes, someone who fucking created something.
It's creator rights.
How often does somebody create something that's in the zeitgeist for years? That's divinity being fucking channeled through a person. And you have to recognize that and fucking acknowledge that instead of just fucking being a scumbag company and not at least giving these people something that they're due. They're able to freaking ride all these characters out. Like if it's so easy, make your own fucking characters up, Disney. So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Ruggs is back.
Ruggs is back. I was waiting for a rant.
You talk about this shit is fucking like creating characters is so fucking hard.
Yeah.
And making great characters, and people today they just urinate all over them. They just don't fucking understand the value. And then the reason why they fucking do it, they use these characters ad nauseum because it's so hard to create something as good as that. And so like at the same time, they're telling you how rare it is to do, but at the same time, there's no value to it. It's work for hire. It's like, I don't understand that argument.
I think ultimately nothing really is going to happen, but the what if scenarios that you think about, like if Marvel and Disney had to share, they would be co-owners of the licensing rights, meaning the estates of Stan Lee and Steve Ditko could do whatever they want also with the license. Like they could sell it. They could go to Warner Brothers and make movies.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy shit. I don't think that's going to happen. The other precedent is this guy Toberoff. He's kind of like he's a second chance. The Jack Kirby case, same thing happened, and the court agreed with Marvel, saying it was work for hire. All right, Toberoff wasn't done with it though. He took it to the Supreme Court. Right, the Supreme Court, who rarely looks at these things, was gonna fucking look at it. This is when Ruth Bader Ginsburg was there. They were gonna look at it. Marvel blinks and settles out of court. They weren't going to risk the chance that the Supreme Court would reverse this, and they settled with the Kirby
that precedent
estate.
would be devastation for them.
So Toberoff is like, I wish I didn't settle last time, and this guy is really going for creators' rights and wants to make it fair. Anthony, what do you think? Does Marvel's lawyers too big of a juggernaut at this point to even fuck with?
Probably, but this guy's had some success, right?
He's the guy.
He's the guy to do it. I think what'll end up happening is probably another settlement.
I hope they settle because I think that social pressure can do it. If Disney feels the burn from people on Twitter and people just fucking yelling at them for being scumbags, then maybe they'll throw people some money and at least in that way do something that's right. But because they have a multi-billion-dollar industry because of these people. So
yeah, they should. I mean, they should. I'm with you. I agree that these guys, the creators, whatever the law was at the time, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know, and I wasn't living in the '60s or whatever these characters were made.
Yeah.
But I mean, the right thing to do would be to cut these guys some money.
Right. We're talking about social justice. We're talking about what the right thing to do is all the time. And like the God's honest truth is, if you do anything creative, remotely creative, it's the business people who like rape and pillage all of the money. Like if you're a recording artist, if you're a musician, if you're almost everything except for maybe being a writer, like you get the ass end of it. You don't get to really benefit the way that other people do. You might get enough to like have a nice life or whatever, but you're not really making the kind of money where people are buying
really
jets.
Get what you're worth. You'll never get.
I mean,
what you're
athletes
worth.
seem to get it.
Athletes in a select few sports get it, but even some athletes, like in UFC.
But think about this. Think about this. Athletes get it, right? But after they're gone, they may have some merchandising, but that's it. Like it goes away. You can't just keep doing Michael Jordan like forever. Like it just ends at some certain point.
Well, he's the exception, but yeah, you're right. In general, they go away.
Yeah. Like how many? I mean, Jordan's the sneakers still sell, but that's a rarity. It's not like
Jordan's the exception for sure.
Yeah.
No, but even I mean, athletes are the ones that make a good amount, but not in all sports. But yeah, any creative. I'm trying to think, it's only like the select few actors, the select few directors. Even like directors don't really get as much as they probably should.
No, I mean, what Nolan's trying to do to get that 20% back end, that's good for him.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. So like that, I mean, this is obviously a different industry, but that's why I was like, good for Nolan. Even though like he made a shitty movie, we all kind of agreed on that. Like he's the dream. He's finally in the power position where like these creators, obviously a lot of them are dead. They're not in the power position, and that's where you want to be if you're creating anything. Is you want to be able to get to the point where you're controlling the man a little bit.
there's just something slimy about that these industries, I know, yes, they do a lot of stuff. They promote whatever, they invest money, but I just think the percentage, it's all about percentages. Just kind of tip their percentages a little bit and then things won't be as bad, or give people something that they could that keeps paying as the character keeps, or whatever the creation is, keeps making money. You should get a piece of it, royalties, whatever you want to fucking call it. But, those things don't always happen, and you don't always get the profit share in something's success. And I think that that's something that every company should do now.
Yeah, and this is bad for like this next generation of creators, of kids who are artists who are growing up loving these movies. Why would you want to go work for these companies now? Because this is from the 60s, but this shit is still happening today. We talked about Ed Brubaker and Winter Soldier and how he's like, I get more money from the royalties from my cameo in the movie than, the comic book. Apparently when Steve Ditko died in 2018, his estate was only worth $1.3 million. How much money have they made off fucking Spider-Man, who, it's co-created? So ironically, this guy Toberoff is going up against the same lawyer he went up against when he tried to get Siegel and Schuster termination notices to DC for Superman. And they settled. So it's a rematch on like multiple levels. It's fascinating. I don't think, though, if anything happens, it would make a drastic thing, but it's fun to think about. What if Marvel lost all the fucking rights to all these characters? What would they do? What happens?
I don't know, but I mean, it would be weird if they did, but it's never happened before, so we won't never fucking know what it's like, I guess.
I mean, the ideal situation is maybe not ideal for everyone, but what I think is most fair is Marvel. Obviously, Marvel pumps a ton of money into this stuff. Like they're taking a lot of the risks at first. I think these guys should be getting royalties. I think every time you see these characters on screen or on paper, they should be making a cut of everything.
The only thing is that the risk is less when you have a flagship character that everybody knows. So yes, they're pumping in money to this, but they also have a lock on an audience.
Well, they built that with Iron Man and with Captain America, with those movies. It'd be weird. It'd be weird seeing creators having some ownership, and maybe I don't know what that even looks like. Like, can they go shop it and do other they could probably create their own things,
imagine,
right?
I mean, I think that's what they did. I mean, like Marvel was looking for studios to buy the rights to their fucking characters.
They sold and
Sony
got back.
Sony bought it.
Yeah, we
and
can kind of see it.
And they've been using it. Marvel no longer has the rights to it, that's the thing that's weird. Like once the studio pays for the rights, they can do whatever they want, I guess. I don't know if there was some kind of a clause where Marvel gets to sign off on stuff.
I don't think there was, because I mean, some of those movies, I mean, those early 2000s were like the Wild West with those movies that were coming out on Marvel.
Yeah.
You had Hulk, you had Ang Lee's Hulk, you had Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, you had that Daredevil, you had the weird Fantastic Four. I mean, you had all sorts of crazy shit.
I mean, I think all these contracts need to be reworked. This work for hire bullshit from 1909, this needs to be updated. Disney famously also, here's the thing, they've manipulated the copyright law once already to keep fucking Mickey Mouse that should have expired on them a long time ago. They still have the copyright for
what
Mickey
happened
Mouse.
to like public domain? What happened to that? Something's been around for like 100 years or something. It should be public domain, no?
Yes, right now public domain is about like anything pre-1924, I think. You can republish it. You could just print it right up and sell it again. No problem. You can re-record it.
Yeah, like Frankenstein. Anybody can fucking do a Frankenstein movie now.
So this is what Disney did. So every year now that public domain year moves up as the years pass. But Disney fucking paused it, or they did something at the year when Mickey Mouse was supposed to expire. They like paused
That's how much
window.
Power they have.
Oh, absolutely. So ultimately, creators aren't going to get jack shit because now it's evil corporate Disney is running the fucking things. Related story, ironically, we have a new contender in the most expensive comic book ever sold. According to the Hollywood Reporter, a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15, his Spider-Man's first appearance, just sold. It came out in 1962, just sold on auction for $3.6 million.
So Nicolas Cage got money again.
It's one of only 4 copies that exists in near mint condition. It is officially the highest selling comic book in history, outdoing the $3.25 million that Action Comics #1 recently went for earlier this year. So look, Spider-Man will always fucking sell. Do they deserve a cut of that? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean that's different. That's just people. Yeah, that's different. That's not the company. That's someone that got possession of it and is selling it on his own.
Yeah,
one is exploitation. The other, look, there was they're arguing Stan Lee's Marvel method, how everyone collaborated and it was all loosey goosey and everybody's kind of writing, but really the artist did a lot of the heavy plotting and writing and work, and they came up with the costumes.
If you were working with Stan Lee, you weren't just following a script and you were making shit up.
You were invented all the characters, all the villains, all the side characters, how everything looked, and Stan is like, make a guy, it's a spider guy. Ironically, also, the other great story is how Spider-Man's first appearance, Amazing Fantasy 15, their publisher at the time thought Spider-Man was a dumb idea. They had this book, Amazing Fantasy. He was canceling it. This was the last issue. He's like, fuck it, put it in this. Nobody's going to want it. I don't like it. And the rest is history. So that deserves recognition still to the heirs of these creators. Anyways, listener, let us know what you think about all this crazy legal mumbo jumbo. Join our Facebook group. It's a great place to geek out, hang out. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. You meet all the listeners. Jock and Nerd. Everyone's in there. We do fun things. Like this week, I'll be posting a spoiler thread for Venom 2 that is coming out this week. So if you go see the movie and you need to talk about it, spoilery somewhere, that's the place you go. Join the group. Do that. Spoil away in the thread.
How was the Discord?
The Discord was a lot of fun. We will talk about that later when I mention the Patreon. But it's a good hangout. It was a good time. Right, Ruggs? What'd you think?
Yeah, it's almost like doing another show.
It is, but it's fun. It's a little more relaxed.
It's like another show with 2 guests or 3 guests or 4 guests.
Yeah, we're all just hanging out.
Whoever's talking, yeah.
We'll talk more about that. And I got a lot of interesting recommendations and stuff to talk about from the Discord. But Shang-Chi, once again, Shang-Chi 4 weeks in a row at #1 at the box office.
Oh, shit.
It is now the highest grossing film of 2021. It's at 196 million domestic, almost cracking the $200 million, the first movie to crack it. And I think it will. So that's fantastic. I think Venom is probably going to beat it out this week. So 4 weeks at #1. When's the last time you saw that? That's crazy.
It's an accomplishment.
It is crazy, but it's also, there's not a lot out.
There was nothing.
But it's still, the experiment went well, right? Like, this proves that people will go out and see a movie.
Yeah.
They'll go out and see a Marvel movie, and they'll go out and see it if it's, not day and date release. On streaming.
Yeah. Speaking of which, they were playing around with a 45-day window. It turns out it's going to be a little bit longer than that, as they announced November 12th this year is Disney Plus Day. It's the 2-year anniversary of Disney Plus. Shang-Chi will start streaming on November 12th on Disney Plus with your subscription. That is about 70 days. So it's still less than the 90 days. So if it's going to be in the theater like another month, like this thing is still going to be making money.
So they were going to do 45, now they're doing 70?
This one ended up being 70, I think, just because of the November 12th and Disney Plus Day.
I also think it's probably just they're like, yeah, we're making money. Like, just keep it out there. There's nothing else coming out.
Yeah, might as well.
I mean, Venom, but, we'll see how Venom does.
Also, on Disney Plus Day, you'll be able to watch Jungle Cruise, and there's going to be a special about Star Wars and the Boba Fett show, and a special about the MCU. Probably some teases of the next phase. A bunch of other things. There's a link in the show notes. But this will be Disney Plus Day. Are you excited? Get excited. Speaking of days, did you know today's
Monday?
Today is Monday. Monday, September 27. Did you know the day we are recording, Sony has officially announced that today is Venom Day.
Oh, shit.
Today?
What?
Yes, Monday.
I didn't get you anything.
Say, what? What'd you give me on Venom? Ruggs, it's my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
You could have got me a little, some ink.
Usually I get you a turd in the wind, but I didn't do it this time.
A turd in the wind, Eddie. I don't know. They made up some bullshit. How do you get a day? Can we have a day? Because if you could just announce that a day is a day and
Every
send out a
day's
press release.
Imran Day, if you ask me.
We need a Jock and Nerd podcast day. We're just going to make it official today. Like one day, maybe the first day, the first show came out. Well, from now on, be known as official Jock and Nerd podcast day. When is the
official birthday? Do you know off the top of your head?
March 23rd, 2015.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, I knew the exact day.
March 23rd.
That is now going to be official nationwide, global, international, Jock and
Universal.
Nerd podcast
Throughout the galaxy,
day.
we are going to be
Someone send an email to the Watcher. He must know about this.
Oh, Watu? He's not going to give a shit.
Watu. So, yeah, listen, Venom's coming out this week. Are you guys excited to see this Venom? What are we expecting? What are we going in with expectations here?
Mine are low.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Very low.
Mine are low. To be honest, I didn't really. I kind of knew it was coming out this week, but it wasn't really on my radar until I think one of my friends messaged me about it. But yeah, first Venom was fine. It wasn't, to me, it was a little too silly. And from what I'm seeing in the trailers, this looks just as silly. I don't think it's going to be bad, but I don't think it's going to be very good either.
Yeah, Venom was like a combination of silly and unexciting because like you had the silliness and the jokes and all that stuff and the weird relationship that they have, which is kind of at least interesting.
Yeah.
But then the fact that Venom is just fighting another Venom, and it kind of makes it boring, and the character doesn't really do anything. It just acts like Venom but meaner. So it's like there's no interest there. There's no intrigue. So hopefully with Woody Harrelson's character, there might be some intrigue at least. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Well,
also, as you mentioned earlier, with characters can be anything anymore. Like a core part of Venom's character is Spider-Man, and that's just all gone. So that like took away a lot of my interest in that character because it's not Venom anymore. It's just a guy that looks like Venom.
This Venom really isn't Venom. I kind of forgot about that because I just go with it. So
yeah, I mean, if you go with it, it is like it's funny in that it's like it is interesting his little inner dynamic of the character and like him talking to each, that he has to deal with this personality that's within him, and that's kind of from the comics, but it's like not Venom.
Yeah.
How long as fans of actual shit are we going to let this shit slide?
Oh, we got to stand for this. Anything can be anything.
I mean, we're just so used to just looking the other way now.
We are. Absolutely.
When shit is just completely wrong. And it's become its own category. Like it's an Elseworld or it's a whatever. It's a different take. Like, how long are we just going to keep being like, all right, okay, this is not what, what we're looking for.
I have given in to this. You're absolutely right. Because
we gave up. We just gave up.
On the one hand, I'm looking forward to what Andy Serkis may bring to this. I'm looking forward to what Woody Harrelson.
What is he doing?
He's directing the fucking movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Really? I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to Woody Harrelson just being over the top ridiculous. Like, I kind of wanted...
that might be good.
I want it to be like a ridiculous, 80s movie that's, it's cheesy, it's bad, it's goofy, but you're there for the ride.
I mean, bare bones, we're just looking for entertainment. We're not looking for faithfulness to the source material. We're not looking for faithfulness to tone or even using storylines or anything interesting from the actual property. We're just looking for entertainment. It'll probably be at least somewhat that. I don't know.
However, this is what I am looking forward to because there has been, they've talked about some of the producers, director, whatever, that there will be a crossover with the MCU. That there was some rumors, they were like, we will eventually cross over with Spider-Man. We know there's going to be multiverse wackiness in Spider-Man No Way Home. Tom Holland recently posted an Instagram photo of himself. Not Tom Holland, Tom Hardy. Sorry. Tom Hardy posted a photo. He was wearing a Spider-Man No Way Home cast and crew hat.
Oh, shit.
Okay. And they said that in this movie what are the odds that there's some Spider-Man shit going on in this movie? Like that we will see Spider-Man, that they are tying, this is going to be the beginning of tying it to the MCU to pull Tom Holland out of the MCU and into the Sonyverse. Do you think we will see any of that in this movie? That's what I'm watching for.
You might see it, but it won't make any sense for people who like Venom.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, they already hinted at that Mobius trailer that Vulture was in it.
Michael Keaton was in there, and there's a poster of Spider-Man.
I think this upcoming Spider-Man movie might be the last one where we see him in the MCU, other than maybe like one other film.
Maybe Doctor Strange. I bet he shows up again in the Doctor Strange sequel.
Yeah, Venom. I mean, just this version of Venom doesn't do a lot for me. I do kind of like the angle, though, if they're going to like go with it. And Andy Serkis is obviously a different director than the first one. Make it like the freaking 80s and make it like weirdly dark.
Right?
And is it rated R?
No, it's PG-13. I believe it is PG-13. They should do rated R Venom, but they probably don't want to cut the box office with a rated R. But I mean, they're hinting of a possibility of a Spider-Man crossover, and that's what I guess I want to see. It
couldn't hurt,
It's just tough to do. I mean, even when you do a Spider-Man crossover, like again, Spider-Man shouldn't be crossing over. It should have been.
He should have been there from the beginning. Should have been there to begin with. That's how you get to the Venom.
It's just such a core part of that character.
Also, rumor and talks of how they want to jumpstart their Sinister Six movie, Sony, that they still want to make, but they want to use like the villains we're going to see in Spider-Man No Way Home, and then use and some of them started. They all started over there. That could be crazy.
Yeah, Sony doing anything doesn't make me all that excited.
They still, though, have made the best Spider-Man movies.
Yeah,
somehow.
And I liked Into the Spider-Verse a lot.
That's what I'm saying. That one and Spider-Man 2
is very good.
Even Spider-Man 1 and some of the Amazing Spider-Man, they've made the more faithful Spider, more in essence to the character, at least than this MCU version, anyways.
Yeah.
I think that this gums up everything with the MCU and them existing. So you're always getting some kind of a lesser version of if either it would have been at Sony only or if it would have been at Marvel only. It's one of these things. We're just getting a lesser version. So
and I'm not really just a big fan of them doing villain movies like this. I don't know. I mean, it just screams of me of desperation. Like, you're trying to be like Marvel, but create your Sony Spider-Verse. And I mean,
do you look at Suicide Squad and be like, well, look at this. That's kind of fun. They used a bunch of villains. It could be something like that.
I mean, it could be like that.
Look, if Tom Holland shows up in this fucking Venom movie, I will fucking lose my shit probably. Be like, oh,
were there Mobius
shit.
comics?
Morbius? Yes.
Morbius?
Yeah, it was part of like the horror line of comics.
Yeah, like Marvel Knights or something like that.
But he did have a lot of interaction with Spider-Man, and let's not forget, in that trailer, there's a poster of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in the Morbius trailer. So are we going to see Morbius? Are we going to see Venom in the Spider-Man movie? Oh, it's crazy. You know what else is crazy? All the shit Netflix has coming out in the next few months. They had this big event.
Where's Chevy Chase?
Oh, this is crazy. Sorry.
This is crazy.
They had a 3-hour live stream event recently, and it was called the Netflix Tudum event. Tudum. Do you get it? I think it's kind of clever.
I think it should have been Dadum.
No, that's the noise, Anthony, when you turn it on Netflix. Tudum.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? That's a kind of a clever name because I got it right away.
Tudum.
Yeah, Tudum. That's what they called it. Tudum. Tudum. And in this event, lots of trailers and teasers and dates for shit that I think we're all going to get excited about. Let's start with the big one, Cobra Kai Season 4.
Oh, I thought you would have started with Stranger Things.
No, you know what? You don't even have it. I have that at the bottom. I didn't even pull that because there's other things that are.
I don't watch Stranger Things, but I feel like that's the most popular thing.
Well, that's why I put it in this order. I put the thing first that I knew were watching.
You like?
Yes, which is Cobra Kai Season 4. You got a trailer with the announcement of the date. This Season 4 is coming out December 31st. This is going to be great. New Year's binging for everyone.
Okay.
Right? All episodes. And you guys, who do we see in the trailer? What did you think?
Yeah, what old guy did they dig up from the old movies this time?
Old dude that goes by the name of fucking Terry Silver.
Oh shit!
Oh boy, he is. He's looking old. Thomas Ian Griffith coming back to play Terry Silver.
He looks the oldest by far.
Yeah,
out of all of them.
He does. Even the other guy, even the
Kreese?
Kreese. He looks older than Kreese somehow.
I mean,
Kreese is like 9.
First off, I remember saying this way back, but we knew that they were bringing him back because of the end of it. And I said he actually fits them. He was in the worst Karate Kid movie ever.
Yeah, he needs redemption.
His character actually fits the most in the universe they've created because he was so over the top evil. But Jesus Christ, when they showed him punching, I'm like, oh my God.
He looks like death. Oh
this
my
is
God.
Worse than, this
That's how
is
I
worse
picture
than,
Imran hitting a bag.
He still has the long hair, but it's all gray now.
I was like, this is worse than when they have Ralph Macchio fighting and he just doesn't care to like train anymore. And he's just like going in slow motion, flipping people over.
He's just got his Spanx on. He's got 2 pairs of Spanx on.
Trying to keep the gut in. I mean, I kind of like the moment when Kreese is like, oh, we're going to have a team up too. And then you see him like, so these guys, he's going to join Cobra Kai. And then what was the other place called? Eagle Talon? Eagle Claw? Eagle Tooth? What the fuck did they call themselves?
Oh, what did they call themselves?
Eagle Fang.
Eagle Fang? Was it Eagle Fang? Right. Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, they now they're merged. I mean,
that's
should
just
be
so terrible.
This is so great. It's going to be so great.
It should still be pretty good. I think they have to, hopefully they're aware that they're probably coming towards the end of the line on this stuff, though.
I mean, this should be the last. I don't know if they got renewed for a season 5, but this should just end it after season 4.
Don't do it. Just go out on a high note.
Yes.
At this peak of your popularity, just fucking do it. Just end it properly.
Well, and all the kids are like 25 years old now, and they're still playing high school kids.
Honestly, this season 4 got me a little more hyped than the Stranger Things season 4, which I think that show probably needs to end after this fucking season also. Those kids are also growing up rather quickly. So I can't wait. Cobra Kai season 4, December 31st. This next one, Total Geek Boner, a show I've been waiting for a long time. The adaptation of Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. We got a quick first look trailer. I love The Sandman, and I thought this was awesome because you got Charles Dance saying words. And whenever Charles Dance says words, it's just epic. It doesn't matter what he's saying. He's Charles Dance. Ruggs, what did you think? I know you read The Sandman. They got him. They got Dream in that mask that he first appears in the beginning of the series. I was like, oh shit, they got the mask.
Right. He looks like the Sandman. He looks like Dream. He looks like Morpheus. So that looks good, but I really don't know. I mean, they did a seance to try and bring him from his dimension or materialize from that. And they did mention, they name dropped
all the brothers.
Despair and Delirium and all that other shit.
It sounds like he was trying to get Death, and he's like, well, look, let's see who I got. And he ends up with Dream. Anthony, what'd you think of this? Does this do anything for you?
I've never really understood Sandman. Yeah. So, no, it doesn't really do anything for me. But anytime you can get a good seancer on screen.
Yeah, Charles Dance is the best.
I'm always for a good seancer. That's for sure. If you make me watch it, and if you say it's good, I probably still won't watch it unless everyone says it's good. But
Ruggs, what do you think? It's a heady kind of fantasy. It's probably like some of the best fantasy in comic books ever written. The book debuted 25 years ago, and you can reread this whole thing every few years as you get older, and you get different things. You get more from it. It's fucking timeless, Ruggs.
Yeah, I remember it being kind of ahead of its time in that way, where it was more like reading an actual like prose than actual reading a comic book. It wasn't like action oriented.
Right.
It was just about these characters and actual humans interacting with them, and also seeing how these characters are, even though they're not human, they have human characteristics and they act in certain ways and they have their own ennui.
Right.
You know,
it's hard to describe because you're personifying things like delirium, destiny, despair, and it goes through time, and you mingle with characters like Shakespeare and all these fun things. So I hope they can nail this. Anthony, I will let you know if it's worth watching. I feel like it's going to be very good. Neil Gaiman is involved.
If you're going to boil down Sandman's main story arc, how would you do that?
I don't even know.
You can't
because it's about Dream and his relationships with people in the real realm, but it's also his relationship with the devil, with his siblings, and it's just you can't nail it down. It's so hard to describe.
Yeah, I don't even, when you initially try to describe it, I still don't understand.
So that's why I'm really curious to see how they explain it. I thought they kind of did a good job in the trailer. the way he was describing, you know, what these beings are. They're kind of like the Eternals. Like, how do you fucking describe the Eternals? It's kind of the same thing.
You know what? You know what's kind of interesting about this is why is this on Netflix?
Netflix
isn't it
paid to
DC?
do it. It is DC. Oh, that's a good point.
Shouldn't it be on HBO
I
Max?
think he made this deal like before that shit happened. Yeah. And probably after this leaves here, it'll go to HBO Max. But Netflix, you know, they'll buy anything.
It's a good get.
Yeah. No, and the cast looks good, and it should be good.
Hopefully, this is a better show for Netflix than what was that last one they did? The Millarverse.
Yeah, that Jupiter's Legacy.
Jupiter's Legacy.
That was kind of a bust.
Although there was that deer show, I guess that one was
Sweet
all right,
Tooth
right?
was pretty good, but these shows do get forgotten really quickly. They just fucking come and go.
I just was reminded of Sweet Tooth when I was watching something else that was just like it. So.
Yeah, that was, you mentioned that last week. We were watching something.
That's the problem. It's the blessing and the curse of releasing everything all at once. The cultural zeitgeist talks about it for like a weekend, and then they forget about it.
Netflix has another Vertigo, has Lucifer.
Oh, yeah, which is like
Vertigo.
a network show. That's from like a CW show, though.
Yeah,
and it's like a procedural.
Yeah,
It's not even, it's like he's a fucking cop or something.
And that's
It's
the
weird.
same Lucifer that's in the Sandman universe, but that one's loosely based. But, Anthony, to your point, I think now we can safely say it's been proven. Look at the shows that have given the weekly release model and how much more buzz all those
Weekly
shows. From your
Weekly's where it's
The
at.
Boys, all the Disney Plus shows, the Invincible. Those were great. And and when you drop this all at once, it's great. And then I just forget about it.
I love the all at once. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Like it's when they first did that with what was that show with the president or with Spacey?
House of Cards.
House of
Yeah,
Cards.
that
I
was
think that was the first show, and it was like
It was huge.
at the time. It was like, yo, you're going to release everything at
That's
once. That's
crazy.
crazy. And then they did it, and everyone was like, "This is amazing! Like this is the new way to watch television." And now we're reverting back to, we prefer it weekly.
All that means is you have to pump out whole seasons of things quicker to keep people interested, which is a lot harder than just fucking.
Well, you forget it so much faster
Yeah.
when you just blaze through it in one weekend, and
Hulu
then that's
does,
it. It's over.
Hulu does weekly. Everything's doing weekly now, and I have to remember when these shows are airing. I'm watching so much shit. There's so much going on. All right, moving on. You guys remember Extraction with the Chris Hemsworth? Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
Oh
movie
my
a lot.
god, fucking fantastic.
I fucking loved it. Great action.
Great 12-minute, like, one-take action scene in the middle. This is where, was it Chad Stahelski, David Leitch, one of the John Wick guys directing, literally sitting on the roof of a car, holding a camera, shooting these scenes.
Have you seen that? Yeah, there's a scene of him, or there's a video of how they filmed that scene, and he is sitting on top of a
The
car.
director is holding the camera strapped down to a hood of a car.
And then they like have the camera like go in through the back of the car, so then you get the like driver's view.
He's taking it in, yes. And it's
nuts.
And the scene is fucking amazing. It's still like, you could go back and just watch that scene. But little spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie.
Spoiler alert.
Remember the end of the movie? Remember that Chris Hemsworth was, everything was fine. He was on that bridge. He was kind of beat up, and then the little Indian kid shoots him from behind.
But at the end of that movie, they made kind of like a tease that he was alive.
What had happened? Yeah, you see, he got shot in the throat, and he stumbles over the side. They're on a bridge above a river, and he stumbles over and falls into the water and sinks down. And so apparently, the Chris Hemsworth is very good at holding his breath. He's been holding it this whole time because they're
with blood pouring out of his
coming
neck.
out of an open wound because they're making an extraction too.
Oh, shit.
And there was a little teaser. Basically, just showed that last scene. Right, there wasn't anything new.
No, and then he just wakes up.
And then,
in this one, he becomes a dentist and he takes out people's molars.
Was the trailer? Did they say like Rake is back or something like that?
Yeah. Hashtag Rake is back. So it is going to be.
It looks
him.
like they're trying to. Well, what I'm getting at is it looks like they're trying to like make like Tyler Rake like a household name, right? Like someone you would think of as an action hero.
I don't know about the word Rake. The name Rake. I don't know how sticky that is.
I didn't remember his name. I just remember Chris Hemsworth.
Rake lives. Hashtag Rake lives is the hashtag.
Yeah,
at the end, he wakes up and he swims up. So he didn't die at the end of Extraction. And there's going to be a reason to do another fucking contrived action scene. I can't wait. Coming soon.
You know, if we said this in the review, but if this is this the same guy, Sam Hargrave, doing it again?
I think it is. That's a good question. I don't know.
Russo has been hired. Yep.
So it's still the Russo brothers company?
Yeah. Filming began in Sydney. Okay, and then they moved to Prague.
Sam Hargrave directing. Yep.
So I think what sucked about the movie was just that the human scenes were just terrible.
Yeah.
So like if they could just make it like a little, like you can relate to the characters a little more,
Give them a little
and then have
more,
that good action.
Yeah, a little more depth to the characters, maybe.
We're not seeing a ton of original action movies. So
Could Rake?
I'm
What
all
do you
for
think?
it.
Could Rake become a household name up there with the fucking Indiana Jones? I don't know.
Or Wick.
Or John Wick. They're
Wick.
trying to make him a Rake.
Wick or like
Rake lives.
Rambo
Or
Jack
Rambo.
Bauer.
Yeah.
Bauer. Yeah. I don't like the name Rake.
No, Rake is this. It's not a good name. I don't. Rake lives.
Beretta.
Well, the problem too is Hemsworth is already. I guess John Wick is an exception, but Hemsworth is already a bigger name than the character he's playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah. That. Yeah.
But I guess Keanu evolved into Wick.
Keanu
and-
made John Wick a
Arnold
thing.
Schwarzenegger and what's his name? Stallone both did multiple household character names.
You know what didn't work is Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher. Anybody watch those?
That did
Nobody
not
gives a
work.
shit about
Jack Reach Around the porn was very successful.
Nobody Jack Reach around.
Yeah.
But
One of my faves.
listen, if they can bring another fucking same action, I'm in. Should be good.
Well, hopefully this one, they did this one in India.
Oh, yeah.
You would just go nuts if they did this one in Pakistan. huh?
Oh shit! There's my household. There's the house I grew up in. No, I don't know. Fine, it'll be fine.
Actually, this was in Bangladesh. Sorry.
Oh, it's
This was
that's
in
India.
No, it's not.
Oh, Bangladesh is East Pakistan. Used to be
now it's just
formerly East
Bangladesh.
Pakistan.
Yeah, now it's its own country.
Used-
Come on, don't you?
Used to be Pakistan, bitch. Don't forget. That's what the Pakistanis tell Bangladeshis every time. Don't forget, used to be fucking Pakistan. Bangladesh, my ass. You're still East Pakistan to me.
Is that what they say?
Yeah. They don't root for their
Everyone's gonna
cricket
get
team.
hate. Lots of hate on this one. The comments
People
will
from
flow.
Bangladesh are going to be banging down your
They're
door.
going to be banging my Dalesh. That I don't even know what I said.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that means. Okay,
Yeah,
moving
what does
on.
that even
Next
mean?
one. The
Let me
prequel.
get the mic away from this
The
guy.
prequel to Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, the Vegas zombie movie. That was fun. It was a good movie. I didn't mind it. They're doing this prequel movie, Army of Thieves, about Dieter, the safecracker. And this time we got a full 3-minute trailer. There's those zombies. There's one quick clip of zombies, so I'm confused as to when exactly this happened. Before the zombie outbreak. But this looks like a fun heist movie. Anthony, what'd you think about this one?
Have Ruggs go first. I'm watching it as we speak.
Okay, I thought
Just play the clip, Imran.
what clip?
I stick it up my asshole.
Oh, I know. Not
No,
not
the
that
other one.
Yes.
I really don't give a shit.
Okay, so you don't
Yeah.
give a shit about the
That's
Army
the
of
one.
Thieves. It's
No.
coming out October 29th. It looks okay. Whatever. It looks fun. You don't care about.
It's
the
a
character?
weird. It does look a little entertaining, and I somewhat enjoyed that character in Army of the Dead. It's just a weird character to.
to
It's a
spin
weird
off.
movie to make.
I know a zombie-less zombie prequel.
Is Zack Snyder making it?
No, I think Dieter, the guy playing Dieter, actually wrote and directed this. I believe. Dieter himself. It's got the girl from Game of Thrones.
Missandei.
Missandei, yeah. I was like, oh shit, Missandei's in this. Anyways, it's coming out relatively soon, in 1 month. So,
Okay.
maybe, Ruggs, maybe you'll like this next one. They're doing a live action adaptation of the Cowboy Bebop anime, and they didn't release.
Nice.
They didn't release a trailer, but they released the opening credits, which I thought
Right.
were fucking fantastic. What do you think of this?
Oh, I've been hip to this for a while. There was some online controversy where the everybody looks on model for the anime except for the girl character.
Okay,
And of course, anime
nobody
designs are
looks like
freaking
that.
Not only does anybody look that, but she's wearing practically nothing.
Oh, right.
So anyway, so this girl was like, she went on Twitter and said, I'm sorry I don't look like this fucking fake character that doesn't exist in the real world. And I'm not going to walk around in some kind of skimpy outfit for a freaking TV show. And it's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm paraphrasing. Obviously, she said it way better than that. But then a couple of days later, they have clips of her in other movies where she's scantily clad all the time. So they were calling her a hypocrite.
Oh, no.
But basically, it was a lot. I don't know. She was going off on the fans, calling guys losers because they can't jack. That's the first thing they say is you can't jack off to it.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
I don't care, to be honest with you. Cowboy Bebop is a great show, and you don't need to make this show. The show doesn't need to be made at all
Because it already
Just watch
exists.
the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see what they do with it. I heard it's not going to be anything. Of course, it's not going to be anything like the show. It's just going to kind of look like it and kind of do similar things, which is, if you don't know what Cowboy Bebop is, it's in the future, humanity's out in outer space, and this guy's kind of like kind of embroiled in like the underbelly of the, kind of like criminal activities, trying to like, kind of like, not really being a space pirate, but doing like odd jobs and doing shit for money.
Like a Han Solo
and this is his crew.
type character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a corgi.
There's a corgi dog. John Cho looks great in this. Anthony, does this do anything for you? I know it's just the opening credits, so it's hard to tell.
No, this does nothing. To be honest, I didn't even, for whatever reason, I think I missed that these last two trailers were something we had to watch, because I missed Army of Thieves and this one. When I first looked at the name of this, Cowboy Bebop, I thought of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah,
I was like, they're doing a Bebop movie without Rocksteady? That's nuts. But that's apparently not what we're talking about.
It's an excellent anime. It's very well done, very good character development, entertaining as fuck. Great characters, like a lot of bravado, a lot of femme fatale action going on. It's cool. Like the main girl character uses her sexuality all the time, and it's fun. It's when shows used to be fun, when there was some fun going on. So they're not going to do that now, because obviously they're not leaning in that direction. So it's going to be a different kind of show. There's still going to be some martial arts and stuff, and some action here and there, and hopefully some space chases. But
there's spaceships and shit.
Yeah, it's in space.
Oh, it's in space. It looks okay. I didn't even get that from the opening.
All right, so like it's like in the future. It's kind of like Firefly. That's the best way I could, or Serenity. It's like kind of like
a Nathan
Serenity
Fillion
ripped off Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
Or I don't know. They came out similar.
Same time.
Like, I think Cowboy Bebop preceded it by a few years.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna check it out. It looks fun.
Yeah.
November 19th on the Netflix. And then a couple other things they coming out. They got a movie called Red Notice with Ryan.
Is that about someone's period?
Maybe. Jesus. Red Notice. Gal Gadot is in it.
Whoa.
Ryan Reynolds
It's about her period.
And Dwayne Johnson. That's a fucking crazy cast for a Netflix.
I saw this. This is the trailer where she's not even Wonder Woman, but she could beat up The Rock.
Yeah. Oh, Gal Gadot's beating up The Rock. I see. Without powers. Just normal.
Yeah, like just kicking his ass. Like The Rock doesn't even land anything. Like not even one thing. It's crazy. But hey, I love Gal Gadot. So
that is a big blockbuster cast there for a Netflix movie. Stranger Things season 4. They put out another teaser, and there's it's like it shows this 1950s house that's haunted, and then cuts to the kids in the 80s investigating the Creel house. Did you see this, Ruggs? What did you think?
Is it Crusher Creel's house?
I wish it was Crusher Creel. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes, I did. I feel like it's gonna be okay.
These kids
what's funny?
The kids.
I'm watching this Red Notice clip.
Yeah,
and The Rock breaks open some glass, and then Ryan Reynolds tries to break over some glass and just hurts his elbow.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be that for like 2 hours.
And Ryan Reynolds just runs away from her in the next clip.
I'm watching her kick both of these guys' asses. Continue. I'm sorry.
Are you excited?
Laugh audibly out loud.
Stranger Things season 4 coming at some point next year. So are you looking forward to this? These kids are getting old, as we can see.
Well, they didn't even show everyone. They just showed like 2 characters.
Yeah.
Steve 2 or 3.
And the other dude. And
the other dude's got like the kid and play fade going on.
Oh yeah, it's advanced. It's like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it's going to be good. I feel like the show, I don't know if it's still.
Yeah, I thought it was over.
Yeah.
I thought they fucking did it.
I thought they got the thing out from the Upside Down. I don't know.
Yeah. This is just a reach.
I'm kind of losing my fucking geek boner for Stranger Things until they show me something cool.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like they didn't need to go on and on and on. They should have just, made it 3 seasons and that's it.
The last thing I wanted to mention is they showed a Witcher season 2 first look clip. Did you get a chance to look at this?
Yeah, but I couldn't really tell what was new, other than there's a couple of scenes with the girl that kind of is training. That's all I could really see. You didn't watch The Witcher, did you?
I watched it, and it's all right. It was all right. I didn't get into it.
Oh, okay. You watched the whole thing.
I watched the whole thing, and it was like, I'm like, okay, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. You know what else is all right? Is a Jock and Nerd t-shirt. You can buy. Somebody bought a t-shirt, by the way. Thank you. I got an email today.
Do we have a Jock and Nerd shirt?
No, I can make one.
Yeah, do it.
I think I was working on it, and it will show up at our TeePublic shop, jockandnerd.com/shop. Listener, you can buy.
Make it so, Imra.
You can buy a bunch of different designs. We can get Rug Boy's face on t-shirts, on tank tops, hoodies, mugs, all sorts of things. Jocking? Are you jocking? Are you nerding? This is one I've had this design for a long time. I haven't finished it.
When are you going to do
Remember,
that
Anthony,
one?
this was your idea. You're like,
Yes.
Are you a jocking? Are you nerding? I'll fucking get around. It's not like I'm not doing anything else, you mother.
Well, he's busy with his mace and his nunchucks.
I gotta
and
do
shit.
yoga right after this, you fucks.
You're doing it after this?
Yeah, I couldn't do it before tonight. I'm gonna do it afterwards.
You do it late night yoga.
Late
Wow.
night yoga is the best. You take a little dab, dude, and you just play some Indian flute music, and then you just
What?
it's transcendent.
Can I have a sample of that?
Oh my god! It's
Can
so
you
good.
record yourself doing this and then post it on the Patreon for our $5 subscribers?
$5? No, $30 and up. You'll get.
Oh,
You
shit.
get to watch you
can-
doing some
you can
fucking
watch
hot
me
yoga.
That's
doing-
for his OnlyFans.
Yes, that goes right on my OnlyFans for my.
Do you
just
put on
be-
the yoga pants?
I-
It'll be Seth Morgan.
All I'm wearing is yoga pants. I'll do
Yeah.
it naked if you pay me enough. And
he
I'll
will watch
record
you
it.
do that.
Listen, I'm getting flexible. You'd be surprised how fucking flexible the nerd is these days.
Can you put your leg over your head?
Oh, God. No. I can almost do certain things that I've wanted to do since I was little. I'll just leave it at that. Last thing in the news.
Okay.
You guys, they're making a Super Mario Brothers animated movie, and they released the cast. Here's the cast. Chris Pratt will be voicing Mario. Anya Taylor-Joy voicing Peach. Charlie Day voicing Luigi. Jack Black voicing Bowser. Keegan-Michael Key voicing Toad. Seth Rogen voicing Donkey Kong, who's going to be in this movie. First of all, what do you think about this cast here? Right away, to me, there's two groups of people that should be really mad at this casting announcement.
Yeah.
Who?
One, I would say Italian Americans. Italian American actors should be
Mario.
very upset. Sebastian Maniscalco, an amazing Italian American stand-up comedian and actor. We saw him in The Irishman.
Yeah, that's a weird.
He's in the
Chris
movie.
Pratt.
Sebastian Maniscalco is voicing somebody else. He should have been playing fucking Luigi or Mario.
Right.
Bruggs, what do you think?
I think that, I don't know. I feel like if this was any other thing and it was cast like this, like there would be a huge internet fucking
Where's the
outrage.
Where's the outrage?
But nobody gives a shit because nobody cares when you go to a pizzeria and there's not an Italian guy working there. No one
That's
cares if you go to a restaurant and it's even owned by an Italian guy. No one cares that culture gets fucking destroyed. No one cares.
I think is he going to do an accent? What are they going to do? Is he going to talk like a New
Well,
Yorker?
the only thing I can think of is Bradley Cooper doing Rocket, and he does it kind of like in a New York.
In New York, yeah.
Well, yeah, I would probably take Bob Hoskins had a New York
That's
accent.
how they did it in the fucking shitty movie. They were, they were doing New York accents.
Yeah, so there's like a bunch of actors that you could get, like any guy from The Sopranos you could get and to do
You could have got
that
Paulie
voice.
Walnuts to fucking be Mario.
I haven't heard Mario's voice in a long time, but the last time I heard Mario's voice, it was like, "It's a me, Mario."
yeah,
that
doesn't
It's
sound
like
like
a very low, like a very
Yeah, that's even more
high
racist.
voice.
that doesn't sound like Chris Pratt. Yes, and that's even
No.
more stereotypical and fucking racist.
It's a me,
It's a me,
Mario.
Luigi. What are you gonna do that? You can't do that. It's
I
not
don't know.
Yeah,
right.
like he
don't know
sounds
what you
like
can
my
do.
like grandmother's my great grandmother from my fucking dad's side.
Oh my God. So Anthony, on the Discord, Daryl and Jose both came up with great ideas. We were watching clips of the old 80s Mario Brothers cartoon show Saturday morning that had Captain Lou Albano playing Mario.
Oh, God.
There was live action pieces in between the cartoons. It was hilarious. We watched a little bit of the movie. Some scenes that movie is so bad. So I got to reach out to Delhauer. I think we should do a video game What the Fuck Happened series. They wanted a double feature of Super Mario Brothers and Double Dragon.
Oh,
And I was like, do you know how mentally exhausting that is? If you want to do both of those in one fucking sitting? No, those will be two separate ones.
I got to say, I mean, out of all these names, I mean, they're all big names, but I don't like any of them. I guess Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach is like not offensive at all. Charlie Day as Luigi is like, what are you talking about? Jack Black as Bowser is so strange. I guess Keegan is Toad.
Is there even any Italian people like that are still like? I mean, Pacino. You got like
Sebastian
who do you got as a name?
Maniscalco is in the movie voicing somebody else.
Like who's a big Italian name now?
I don't know.
Stallone.
I was gonna say
Like
Stallone.
it's completely. I mean, who is? I don't even know.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is just like what?
Ray Romano, maybe? I
Yeah,
don't
why
know.
don't you get Ray Romano
Bobby
in there?
Cannavale.
How about Joe Pesci and De Niro as Mario
God,
and Luigi?
Dude, that would be so fucking
How
funny.
about Pacino and Stallone? No. Leonardo DiCaprio. Is he Italian?
You know who would be
Tony
great?
Danza should be Mario.
Oh,
Tony Danza. No, what's the name of that dude that's in everything?
Danny
he's in the
DeVito.
Danny DeVito. He's Italian.
Stanley Tucci. You got Stanley
Tucci. That's the guy.
Stanley Tucci.
He's the guy. Yeah,
Listen,
Stanley Tucci.
Stanley-
How old is Mario supposed to be?
I don't know. What?
I don't
So
know.
he's a fat plumber. What would that make
He's a
him in his
fat
mid
plumber.
40s? I guess I don't know.
I thought, I always thought
you
Mario
could be
was in
fat
his
in
like
your 20s,
40s.
Imran.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I don't know why he said
You
40s.
could be fat and have a mustache.
No,
in
but he
your
seems
20s.
like he's at least in his 40s, right? Realistically, the character.
He's,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
50s.
Mario is an iconic character. Don't get me wrong, but this isn't like the most. I don't think this is all that important to a lot of people.
No, but you could have got Steve Buscemi playing Luigi.
Oh yeah,
It would have been
That would be
fantastic.
great.
So look,
it's a voice cast. You know, you're not going to see them.
What is? It's a Super Mario Bros.
it's going to be
Oh.
animated CG.
I wish they were. They should
not
be
live
doing.
action. Yeah.
Hopefully, you know what they should do is they should do this movie, and then they should be building towards a Super Smash Bros. Film.
Oh well, that would be
Because
because
that game is the most popular game.
It still is. Yeah, one of the most popular games. of all
Everyone
time.
loves that
a
game.
battle royale movie. This movie is actually
Because then you have all the IP from Nintendo in it.
Yeah, like Link and shit.
Yeah.
Samus.
Kirby.
Nintendo is making this movie with Illumination, the animation house Illumination, who's done some good stuff. So it should look.
Is that are they a good company?
I think they are.
He just says it. He doesn't back it up with anything.
No, I'm trying to remember what they are known for. Oh, all those Pets movies and the what is this?
You know what's great about Mario?
Yeah,
It's like a Japanese guy made this all up.
right. He
This
made
is
a
like-
racist Italian character while he was developing a video game in the 80s. It's amazing. Oh my god!
Yeah, and it wasn't like a successful Italian, politician.
Yeah.
He's a fucking plumber.
He makes a plumber. Well, I've watched a bunch of documentaries about Nintendo and the guy and how they came up with Mario, and literally he's just like I thought that's what I thought of America or something. I don't know why he picked up, but the
Yeah,
story,
like, why did he do
the
that?
story's fascinating. I forget what it was, but there are documentaries where the guy talks about it.
You know how much like flack? Well, that could never happen.
No, you
now.
can't do
You
that
could- You
anymore.
could never do that.
But in Japan, it got huge in Japan, so it didn't care.
That's true.
It already proved that the game is huge, and they're like, all right, well, we got to take
Can
this.
you imagine, like right now, a guy makes a racist ass video game about another culture, and it just blows up? Like that would never happen.
I think they should make. I think some Italians should make a video game
About
company
with the
and
Japanese
make a
characters.
a Japanese
Oh,
businessman
Oh, shit, that'd be hilarious.
who just gives out business cards. to people.
Stereotypical Japanese businessman video game.
Yeah.
How bad was that movie though in '93? That was awful.
I mean,
That was
it's
movie.
what
fucking horrible.
it's what the fuck worthy. So we might have to.
It is what the fuck. I mean, I remember what. Who's the bad guy?
It was Hot Shot. What's his name? The guy from Speed. The bad guy from Speed.
Oh,
that guy.
Dennis
Hopper.
Hopper. Yes.
Dennis Hopper. That's right.
Oh my god! And he was. What's the guy? Bad guys? Kumba? No, fuck.
The Koopa.
Bowser.
He was
Koopa.
King Koopa. Dennis Hopper was
King
King
Koopa.
Koopa.
And oh my god, the way they designed it. Remember remember that scene where they're like trying to sneak around and they're dancing with all the fucking dinosaur people and they're like just making them sway back and forth and they're like oh my god. It's such a bad
I know. I
movie.
kind of want to watch it again, but only if we're doing a podcast.
They don't even have
episode about it.
mustaches.
No.
Or they didn't even give Luigi a mustache.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins had one. John Leguizamo.
They tried to do the, oh yeah, Puerto Ricans and Italians are the same thing.
they tried to
Who
get
knows the difference?
They tried to get away with that. Again, you got an Englishman playing an Italian New Yorker. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
whatever.
shit.
Illumination responsible for the Despicable Me's and the Minion cartoons, so it's gonna look like
Okay.
that. It's good animation. But real quick, the other group that should be upset at this is like working fucking voice actors. You know, that's an industry. That's like an actual field. Used to be all these cartoons, you would hire voice actors. They can't compete with the likes of Chris Pratt, who's in fucking everything.
Yeah. They're doing that though because they want the names
name.
are what's kind of selling it now.
But not all actors are great voice
No, they're not.
actors. Chris Pratt is
a different thing.
It's a completely different discipline and skill. So
but he's done the Lego movies.
He was good in the Lego movies. That's true. So, but again, like you have the screen movies, you fucks, give somebody else a chance. But then the movie, nobody goes to see it. So,
yeah, I don't know if Mario sells unless they put in big names like this.
It all comes down to money, unfortunately. Okay, look, let's take a break here. We're going to play some promos, and we come back, we're going to party with Thor. I can't wait. Right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Transmission commencing.
This is Wookiee Radio. Translated for the Wookiee impaired. I like that Wookiee. Your hosts, Ken, Derek, and Mike, bring you the latest news and commentary from the far reaches of the galaxy.
Hold it. Hold it. I said hold it.
Subscribe today on iTunes and Stitcher.
I just assumed he's a Wookiee.
Start listening today, and remember,
The Force will be with you, always.
What's up, Jock and Nerd Nation? This is Logan at Mostly Superheroes, a podcast that was partly inspired by the Jock and Nerd podcast. We talk about a lot of the same stuff, MCU, DC heavy, with other content that comes out of HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and more. We're committing to doing something new every day in 2021, so come join the fun, check out the schedule. Find us at mostlysuperheroes.com and enjoy the rest of the show.
And Nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy this very podcast, this independently run Jock and Nerd podcast, you should consider joining our Patreon fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jock and Nerd, where you can support the show and get stuff. There is a exclusive RSS feed, a bonus podcast feed full of tons of audio goodness. The shows come out early. There's instant reactions we're going to post this week, fellas. Don't forget to send me your instant reactions to Venom. Let there be carnage.
Okay.
All right. It's your reminder, you fuckers. Jesus.
Okay.
Somebody paying attention.
Yep.
I'll try.
All right. I will do mine from the
Remind
car.
us.
Okay. I'll remind you. You'll get mine from the car again. Those are fun to do. So that's some of the bonus content. Also, other bonuses you get Discord benefits. You get access to our Discord server where we do a monthly hangout, a monthly geek out. And we just did one. Shout out to Daryl and Jose Ibarra and Daryl K came by, hung out. It was a lot of fun. Rugs, what'd you think? I love hanging out with Daryl and
many
Jose.
more.
And
all those people.
All
and
those
more.
people. Listen, it wasn't the most highly attended, but it did leave room for like more conversation.
Well, you want to know? I think that we do these on the last Thursday of the month, and we changed it up. So
Okay.
I think people were expecting it to be this week.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. From that Thursday, it's going to be every 4 weeks. It'll be once a month. The next one, October's, will be October 21st. Okay. It's not the last Thursday of the month moving forward because of holidays. So I'm going to hit the Thursday before. This will now hit the Thursday before Thanksgiving, before Christmas, before New Year's. Won't get in the way. It's basically what I'm trying to do. So October 21st, Thursday, 8 p.m. Central is our next Discord hangout. Sign up today. jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Okay, let's get to this week's review. What If? Marvel's What If on Disney Plus, episode 7. This one titled, What If Thor Were an Only Child? Here's your spoilers.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Prepare to be spoiled!
This one, kind of, again, starting in a movie, starting in the Thor movie, mostly, and then it just gets all crazy. But you got the Chris Hemsworth as Thor, voicing Thor. Natalie Portman is back as Jane Foster. Suddenly, Natalie Portman wants
she
to be...
was?
Yeah, holy shit.
That was her.
Suddenly, she wants to be involved as Jane Foster again, all of a sudden, now that she sees the
I
billions.
had no clue that was her.
Right?
I didn't think it was her either.
I didn't think it was her either. I'm just now reading this and realizing that was fucking Natalie Portman. Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Kat Dennings, of course, as Darcy, Sam Jackson, Nick Fury, Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster, Colby Smulders returning as Maria Hill, Clark Gregg.
Colby
Smulders. I mean, what is she doing, really? Come on, after, the How I Met My Father is over. What else? My Mother, whatever that show was.
Yeah.
That show's done. She needs something to do. Clark Gregg, also Agent Coulson after they killed him on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like 7 times. Ruggs, Frank Grillo, another Frank Grillo.
That's right, baby. Frankie's back. He should be fucking Mario.
He should. Oh my God, right? Frank Grillo as
Imagine
Mario.
He was fucking Mario.
And they made it like an 80s action movie, like this over the top with him as a jacked Mario.
He's the fucking best.
I think he could grow that.
Get the fuck out of here, Luigi.
I think that mustache would look good on him.
Oh, definitely.
Mario
Mustache,
is a jacked tattooed plumber. I want to see that movie. Taika Waititi as Korg, Karen Gillan as Nebula, Jamie Alexander, Lady Sif, Seth Green as one, Howard the Duck. Sorry, I had to bring that clip back. And Alexandra Daniels covering for Brie Larson as Carol Danvers. And Josette Eels covering for, what was her name? Renee Russo as Frigga. And the Warriors 3 are by some other people, I think. Anyways, majority of the cast returning. Surprising Natalie Portman is there. Anthony, what happens in this one? What's the setup?
Again, these titles just give it away, but it's basically, what if Thor was an only child? And the impact of him being an only child is he, obviously wouldn't have had Loki as a brother. And I guess because having Loki as a brother taught him a lot of things about how to act, he just becomes a big frat boy.
Yes.
And just wants to not at all live up to what his legacy should be as a king, and instead just wants to party. And his father goes into the Odin sleep, and he decides, perfect time to go party.
Let's go to Earth
parties
and
on
party.
Earth, because Earth is the backwards planet where aliens want to go and party.
Fucking Midgard.
It's a pretty after some pretty heavy episodes, this is a pretty light one.
Yeah, and I thought it was fun. There's some good lines. Some of the humor, some of the jokes are good, and it's almost like a sitcom episode where it's like, oh shit, mom's coming home. Like, we got to clean up before we get caught. It needed a little bit of lightheartedness after the last two were heavy, and there's been a couple of heavy ones. Ruggs, overall, what did you think of this one?
This was stupid and fun at the same time, but more stupid than anything else.
I think that's a pretty good, accurate description. It was stupid fun. I mean, we'll get into it, but Thor is pretty much just a fucking idiot. Like you said, he's a frat boy. And there's another crazy cliffhanger ending. Again.
There is. I agree. I think, this one's the most, it is kind of fun. I liked seeing all the different aliens all around, and some of the gags were kind of funny. The Surtur?
Oh yeah,
burning off Statue of Liberty, and then them using the arch to be as a slingshot. Like, some of that stuff was kind of funny. It's also an entirely forgettable episode. And a little bit. If I could put on be like a little bit critical, almost kind of too far of a reach in terms of you really think Thor, how would he even be worthy of the hammer if he was just this much of a goofball?
Right, he's not worthy, but he's worthy still, and he's just a fuck up. Yeah,
I like that. It's a what if, right? So at the end of the day, you kind of have liberty to do what you want, but it was just a very silly episode. I think overall, I prefer the more. I liked that the direction they were going in terms of kind of treating these as a little bit more serious. But hey, you had 7, 8, 9 episodes. One of these isn't, it's not going to kill anybody.
Yeah, it's a little break in pace and lighthearted. And the comic tended to be goofy, but largely I remember the comic book stories being very dark and heavy. And it's like they shoved a big thing at the end of this one to make it tie into whatever they're building to.
I have a feeling that the people who are going to love this episode are the same people who buy pop figures. They're the same people who loved Crocodile Loki. Those kind of fans.
Yeah, sure.
The ones that are excited about stupid shit like that that has no bearing on anything. Those are the people that are going to love this episode. Whatever, you're entitled to that. You can do that, but just admit it's fucking stupid.
So it's stupid, but I think the interesting
it's fun and stupid.
The interesting premise is, like you mentioned, Anthony. We've seen how Thor has influenced Loki's character, and Loki's become a better person and changed. But you never think about how Loki's influence on Thor plays out, and what happens when you remove the Loki. So at the beginning of this episode starts just like a Thor movie for the most part. Darcy and Jane Foster are there, and they track this big signal, and the fucking Bifrost comes in.
Well, the only difference though is they've seen that signal come in before.
Yes, and it destroyed a planet.
Right. So they were able to track that he had partied somewhere else.
And the fucking beam comes in, and it's Party Prince Thor in Las Vegas. And he's like, let's party. And so the Watcher quickly tells us in this timeline, instead of Odin raising Loki as his own son, he returned Loki to the land of the Frost Giants, to his Frost Giant people. So Thor is going to grow up like a spoiled fucking single child.
So they brokered peace by him going back to the Frost Giants.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, they did. I think
they didn't want to kill each other.
No, because when he does show up, they're all buddies. And so, like in Thor, Odin goes into Odin's sleep, and it's hilarious because Frigga's like, okay, I'm out. I'm gonna go party. It's the solstice. See you later. So she's kind of like a party girl already, but she's like, Thor, you have to stay home and study, and Heimdall's gonna be watching you. And as soon as she leaves, he's like, we're going to Earth. Heimdall doesn't fucking watch Earth. We're going to go party. This is funny. It's a funny setup right here that Heimdall does not even pay attention. Wasn't paying attention this whole time.
For someone that can see everything, he sees absolutely jack shit.
He was checking out his phone.
He was scrolling through.
I can relate to that.
Asgardian Tinder.
There was some fucking sick TikTok dances that he had to watch.
Oh my God, the Asgardian TikTok dances got to be crazy.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. And so this is where you get these cameos, because you see the party scene, it's everybody from like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and Thor movies. The Grandmaster is there, Korg's there. Drax is there, and Nebula and Gamora. There's Skrulls there. And Thor's like, okay, do me. Now you do me. Now you do me. Howard the Duck is there. And this gets the attention, of course, of Jane Foster and Darcy, and they go down there, and they end up fucking partying with Thor in Vegas. Of course. Why wouldn't you? And then there's a quick montage where Darcy marries Howard the Duck. Of course he does. They're married by an Elvis impersonator. And then Anthony, you should have loved this rager. The Grandmaster's DJing, and he just stops the beat and goes, release the foam. And the fucking foam drops down.
Yeah, Anthony was like, he got a flashback.
I was like, this is a party Anthony will be at.
Yeah, that brought up some very bad memories. I was like, I had to fast forward through that. I was like, I don't want to remember these
fucking
times
foam
anymore.
Party is great. It was a rager.
Have you ever been in a foam party?
Yeah, me? No. I have not.
I have.
You have?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
How was it? Disorienting? Of course. Ruggs has been to a foam party.
I had to go through the spin cycle a couple times afterwards. But it was fucking crazy. Yeah.
I mean, what's that like?
It's interesting, a foam party.
You might catch an elbow.
Yeah.
Plus, you can't see shit. You get your laundry done at the same time.
You'd hate
bonus.
Whoever throws the foam party, you'd hate to. Whoever has to clean that up, it's a nightmare.
But I imagine it just cleans the whole room.
A foam party, I feel like, was like an early. I don't think anyone's doing foam parties anymore.
They still do it.
Do they?
In Vegas?
Yeah.
Not in Vegas.
The ones I've been to were at pools.
Oh, see, I was thinking about foam parties indoors.
Indoor, yeah. I'm talking about indoor foam party like this rager he's got going.
No, I know, but I think that they're still continuing. They stopped doing them inside, and now they started doing them in pools.
Post-COVID, you got to do the foam parties outdoors. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There are some funny lines here, like when Darcy first comes up to Thor, she goes, "You're Thor, the Norse god of thunder?" And the music's loud. He goes, "I don't know anything about horse gods, but I do bring the thunder." I was like, all right, that's kind of funny. He's a fucking idiot. Anyways, the next morning she wakes up. Thor's in her room, and Frank Grillo comes looking for them, knocking on their door, looking for Thor. And then we get a little flashback of what happened to Fury. And this is great because Fury calls him Spicoli. Did you pick up do you know that reference, Anthony? He's like, "Hey, Spicoli."
No, where's that from?
That is Sean Penn's character from Fast Times at Ridgemount High.
He was basically like a blonde-haired stoner.
He was the stoner. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Hand, this is my time." He orders a pizza in class. Spicoli's the best. Great reference. But then he gets knocked the fuck out by Korg running by. And basically, the issue now is, as Coulson tells us, the party atmosphere is spreading the globe. They are trashing the planet, partying. This is not good. So Maria Hill has to page Captain Marvel. And then another great line when Darcy goes, "A beeper? My dad has one. He's a podiatrist. Are you calling a podiatrist? So stupid. It's so stupid.
I forgot some of these lines.
It's okay, and then I love this part. Thor is in Paris partying, and the frost giants show up, and you see giant blue Loki, and they play it off like they're enemies, and then they're just like, "Hey, what's up, brother?" Loki's,
I know. I did enjoy the dynamic that they would still get along, or they would get along because they didn't grow up together.
Loki no longer wants to be jealous of Thor because he's got his own throne.
Yeah, now he's the
but
prince.
I don't know if he would stop being like wanting to dominate shit and like
he's not the god of mischief.
Colonize.
Yeah. No, he's
my brother from another mother.
Tom Hiddleston goes, brothers forever. So silly and sings it. And then there's a boom, and Thor's like, did you boom? No, I only boom in private. Did you boom? Was that you booming? The boom is Captain Marvel, and she's got another great reference. She's like, hey, White Snake. That was also fucking great.
Where's that from?
White Snake is the glam rock band from the late 80s who had long hair, tight pants.
Because she would say that because she grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, she's from the 90s or the 80s or whatever. Yeah, she grew up in the 80s. So she calls them White Snake. Oh, that's a good point. That's a point of reference from her. So she's like, dude, you got to clean up and leave. Get the fuck out. And then Thor's got another great line. He goes, there's a Midgardian word for women like you. Party pooper. There, I said it.
Nailed it. Nailed it. It really is a party
so
pooper.
Good, and she is the party pooper.
As you're reiterating
There's
this,
some funny lines.
There is some funny ass lines.
And then this battle, Captain Marvel versus Thor, is something I didn't know I ever wanted to see, but I loved it in this because at times it seemed like they weren't holding back. They're knocking each other from continent to continent.
I feel like people have been wanting to see that ever since Brie Larson got a little upset with Chris Hemsworth's comments in that press tour.
And he tells her, and Thor goes, you should smile more. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, he does
say that, and she fucking punches him in the face. So there's a lot of little nods to that whole thing going on about telling Captain Marvel to smile more.
Well, that wasn't that. It was when, remember that press tour where she's like, she was saying something about being an action star, and he was like, oh, you want to be like the next Tom Cruise? And she's like, I'll be the first Brie Larson. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, they don't get along. It doesn't seem like they're getting along right now.
No, I want to see them battle in live action because this is it was kind of an epic battle. I would think though Captain Marvel could wipe the floor with Thor. They said in here, her punch is equal to 10 nuclear bombs. Who do you think is stronger? I feel like it would be Captain Marvel.
In this kind of Marvel? Yeah.
They've made Captain Marvel the most powerful.
Okay, yeah. That's true. That's true. She's the cosmic power. Anyways, they're fighting around Stonehenge, and he drops Stonehenge and makes fun of it, which is also kind of funny. He's like, oh, your weird rocks fell over. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. And then he hits her with lightning, and this is kind of fucking great, and she just fucking takes it in, absorbs it. And they come up with the plan. Captain Marvel's going to lure him to Siberia, and they're going to nuke him
and Captain Marvel can go all out.
Yes. Oh, yes.
She can.
She doesn't have to hold back, and she was fucking knocking him from continent to continent. But then, in the meantime, Darcy and Jane Foster figure out, hey, why don't we just call his mom? Why don't we just tell on him? I need to talk to his mom. And Jane does get to Frigga.
Well, she yells Heimdall.
Oh yeah, with this they have a device on. Yeah. And this is when they show more clips of the aliens trashing the planet. Like you said, Surtur, all drunk, is hitting on the Statue of Liberty and her arm. He burns her arm off, which, I mean, that's funny. And the frost giants are fucking with Ferris wheels, and everything's fucked.
Oh yeah, they're rolling the Ferris wheels.
In the Ferris wheels. They're using the St. Louis Arch as a slingshot.
Slingshot, yeah.
So Jane goes and essentially tattletales on Thor to Frigga, and Frigga comes down in an astral form. In their hologram, just in time. They're about to fucking nuke him. And Frank Grillo is very upset. He's like, oh, we don't get to nuke anybody when they have to cancel. He's like, we never get to use the nukes. So she's like, Thor, I'm coming down. You better be studying. I want to see this study group. He goes, we're on a cultural trip with my study group, Mom. She's like, well, I have to see this. And he's like, oh shit, I got to clean up the planet before my mom shows up. And he pleads to everyone. And they're all drunk and they're partying, and they just make fun of him now. And I think Drax has the best line here of the whole episode, where he goes, look who's pooping the party now. It is you who is pooping the party. Great delivery. And so Thor gets all scary with his lightning, and everyone agrees to actually help clean up. just in time for Frigga to see their little fake study group. Just kind of cute. And then she almost buys it. Captain Marvel shows up and she's like, oh, I got this research on this little iPad for you.
Oh, he's like obsessed with the little iPad. He's like, all this little information.
This is magic. Yes. He's like, all that stuff in here. They even get tattoos, matching tattoos, him and Jane, magic and science. He's getting excited about science. And Frigga almost buy it, but you see the Mjolnir return, and it's covered in graffiti and Mardi Gras beads.
Oh, shit.
What? How did he get these Mardi Gras beads?
I mean, Chris Hemsworth's probably got some better tits than a lot of women.
He probably does. Those man boobs are getting the gold beads.
I definitely would throw a couple.
Mjolnir was partying. So anyways, he goes real quickly to see Jane Foster in her RV, and he's like, look, you told on me, but I still want to bang you. Want to go out again. And he asks her out for another date. And then this is the craziest part. The Watcher shows up and he's like, and then they all lived happily ever after. And he goes, wait, what? And we see a portal open up with Ultron bots stepping through. And in the back of this group, they are led by Ultron with Vision inside. And he has all the fucking Infinity Stones.
Oh, shit.
This Ultron seemingly surprised even The Witcher.
The Watcher.
The Watcher. The Witcher.
And The Witcher, because The Witcher wasn't even aware he was in this show.
The Witcher, Henry Cavill is not in this show.
Oh. Okay.
This Ultron Vision, whatever, to surprise The Watcher, that's kind of crazy. And now I feel like this will set up this 2-part kind of end of the season, setting up the Guardians.
It seems like this is going to be a 2-part, right?
Yeah, I think in episode 8 and 9 will be setting up. This is what I think is going to happen now. The Watcher, I think, is going to interfere because he didn't see this fucking Ultron coming, and he's going to gather this team, and they're going to have to stop this Ultron, who, it seems in this timeline, this Ultron actually became Vision like he was going to in Age of Ultron.
Right.
What the plan was. It never happened, but now...
Well, there's numerous things they have to stop.
Right.
They have to stop this. They have to stop Ultron. They have to stop Zombie
Thanos with almost all the
They have to stop
stones.
Ego because he was able to get to Chris Pratt.
With Peter Quill.
They're going to have to stop...
What's the other one?
Killmonger.
Oh, that's right.
Leading Wakanda and America
There's
into
a war
huge
happening.
War.
Yeah. But there's a couple other loose threads that hopefully will get wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a tacked on fucking ending a little bit, and they did it again.
So it sounds like what they're going to do, if I had to guess. Well, you mentioned it, but what I think who they're going to recruit is they're going to get Captain Carter.
Yeah.
They're going to get T'Challa Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Remember at the end of the 3rd episode, Fury finds Captain America, so I think they're going to get him.
Oh, okay.
They're going to get evil Doctor Strange.
Shields.
Okay, right.
They're going to get...
I think Winter Soldier shows up and Natasha, because they were both deaths that we didn't see their body. They just got flicked off.
Oh, no, I don't think they're going to get them.
Oh, okay.
But I think they're going to get someone... They're going to get maybe Peter from What If Zombies or Lang.
Yeah, Scott Lang's head in a jar.
Shuri or Pepper Potts, and then they're going to get Party Thor.
Oh, Party Thor. Yeah, there are clips of Party Thor and Evil Doctor Strange doing shit in like the promo and some of the other trailers.
They're gonna get at least, I think they're going to get one character from each of these. 7 characters.
Yeah. To form this Guardians of the Multiverse.
Guardians of the Universe. Or
to
multiverse.
ultimately stop all this crazy...
All this shit.
All of it, and Ultron probably is... If he can like jump through this multiverses, he may be having a hand in all these things and controlling these things. There is an article that came out on comicbookmovie.com about the head writer, A.C. Bradley, did say that the episodes were longer before COVID, but they had to trim a lot back, and it's also why they have kind of these cliffhangers.
The abrupt endings.
Yeah, the abrupt endings. And so he said that the COVID did affect it a little bit.
Yeah, that would be one of my criticisms, I think, of the show so far, is I do enjoy it, but the endings are almost so tacked on and abrupt that it feels like a different show when it ends.
I mean, even for the watcher to go, wait, what? It's like, oh, come on. What the fuck's going on here?
Right.
He doesn't even know what's happening. But again, it was like a fun sitcom. It was like a sitcom episode.
It was like a sitcom.
I think that Marvel has to like stop the urge to make everything interconnected, especially when you're doing something that's What If, because What If is not supposed to connect.
Right. They're trying to build and connect all this shit, but does that mean they're going to bring these people to live action? What is the end game? Was it just in this animated What If universe? These people exist. There's going to be another season probably next year. I'm pretty sure.
this is part of their keeping it fresh narrative. So,
well, I think Marvel to that point is just they always feel like they have to build to something. So if they did 9 what ifs that didn't connect, I feel like
you might feel
they're
cheated.
I think they think the audience is so ingrained to everything being all connected that they'd feel like we were missing out on something.
It's kind of true. It's kind of true. Everyone complained about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for 7 years.
Well, that show sucks.
But 2 episodes left. Let's see if they can fucking wrap this up. Now, I know the next one I think is going to be about this Ultron/Vision character, and then probably Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Multiverse. Sorry,
is that what they're doing, or are you just speculating?
No, I think so. There's a promo trailer I put in here. It doesn't really say a lot, but
I have a quick question.
Yes.
What do you think is the best comic book TV show that you've seen up until now? Because now we've had a sampling of what Marvel has to offer. We've seen what DC has put out officially. Then we've seen all of the ancillary cut. We talked about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that other stuff that weren't coming directly from the comic book companies, but were made nonetheless. What do you think was the most successful? Do you think is he Daredevil?
All time, you mean? Or
yeah.
I would say I really enjoyed Daredevil. I think season 1 and season 3 were really good. Jessica Jones season 1 was really good. I think the old Justice League, the 4 or 5 years of the animated Justice League, that I rewatched that as an adult. That was amazing. They did really well with that.
So you're talking about animated, yeah.
Well, because What If is animated, so I think that's
right. You're right.
You're right. I thought of right away Invincible and The Boys, actually.
Oh yeah,
and how fucking good Invincible was.
Well, the thing about Invincible and The Boys is they're not done, right? So you can't. You can judge them, but there's still a lot.
Oh, I see. If you're talking about complete things that have a few seasons.
No, I just general, but yeah, I think that it's easier after they're complete to actually make a real assessment, but.
You're saying, so you said comic book?
Yeah. Like Batman the Animated Series, obviously. It was great.
Do you count non-DC and Marvel comics?
I think so.
Because Walking Dead had a really good run up until they jumped the shark.
Yeah, Walking Dead was amazing in the beginning. That was
just
must
doing
watch.
DC Marvel, then obviously take that out. Yeah, that original Justice League, that one, I forget the creators on that, but those were amazing.
Was it Paul Dini and those are the guys who did... The Batman show?
The Batman guys that did, they did the Batman. And what was cool about that was those Batman shows, the Superman shows, they all were still canon to this. It was Bruce Timm.
Oh, Bruce Timm, yes.
You're right.
Bruce Timm does
Kevin Conroy
stuff.
and George Newbern. Yeah, those were awesome.
Those were actually really good. I mean, some of the Young Justice was actually really good,
Justice
too.
was really good. Yeah, I never got that third season. I guess it wasn't good.
I didn't watch the third.
I never got that one either.
Yeah. I didn't get into the third one, but the first 2 seasons are great.
How about Doom Patrol?
Doom Patrol is wacky and it's fun. I watched the first episode of season 3. There's 3 out. That one impresses me. I really like WandaVision. I don't know why.
I liked WandaVision.
I keep going back to that.
What about the that weird X-Men show that you really liked?
Oh, Legion was a little too crazy.
Too crazy.
I think the first season of Arrow's still good.
First season of Arrow's good.
Arrow's, the first season of Arrow. I think the first season of Flash. I think the first 2 seasons of Arrow were really good. Because the second season was when they brought in
Deathstroke,
yeah.
Manu Bennett, yeah.
But then, I don't know if those shows hold up, though. If you rewatch those, I think those fight scenes are not good.
It was a product of their time.
Yeah.
Here's another question I had. Will Marvel ever give us a show with Edge? A show where they swear? I don't think they've said fucking anything yet, and DC has been giving us shows on HBO Max. They're not holding back.
They say bullshit.
They say shit. I don't think they've dropped an F-bomb, but will they ever give us something?
No.
That
Deadpool, right? Won't that be R?
It's going to have to be. Is that going to be the first thing? I mean,
I think that's
drop
an
an
F-bomb
and make it all fucking adult.
I don't know if Disney Plus, if they can.
No, it'd have to go on Hulu. You couldn't put it on Disney Plus. So that's the only thing that's kind of neutering. That's the only thing that Warner Brothers and DC has a little bit above, that you can make these shows certain quality.
What's your favorite, Ruggs?
Oh, I don't know.
Or some of your favorites?
I like Daredevil a lot. I thought that was great. I love Justice League. I thought that was always great. I liked Invincible a lot for some of the new stuff. It's really good. Everything else is just okay. First season of Arrow was good of its time.
Oh, you know what? Watchmen on HBO? That was fucking amazing. I think that's got to be up there.
That was good, yeah.
Watchmen was good. The Boys is good. That first season, The Boys, was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I mean, I think The Boys and Daredevil is probably the top.
I really like Jessica Jones season 1.
What about The Punisher? The Punisher show was good. I thought that was pretty
Punisher was good.
Yeah, Bernthal's fucking kills as the Punisher.
Yeah, I would love, you're in that sense, I would love to see a more mature Marvel show.
Right?
At one point, at some point.
They're not even getting close to like.
Are
the
you
Netflix
watching the new
shows.
Superman show?
Imran likes
It's a
that
good show.
I'm not watching.
I heard it was
It's a
good.
good
I
show.
watched a few episodes and it was good.
Yeah,
everything that I've seen. Was it just called Superman and Lois?
Yeah, Superman and Lois is surprisingly good and heartfelt, and they treat the characters well. And he's a good Superman, Tyler Hoechlin.
Yeah.
What about Umbrella Academy? I kind of dig Umbrella Academy.
I like the second season way more than the first.
Okay, it got better.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think all these that we mentioned are probably the top of
What
the
about
top.
those? I mean, those original Batman shows I heard were pretty good. I don't remember them, to be honest.
Well, there's tons of them. Batman Brave and Bold is fun. Batman Beyond is actually really good. I love both of those. There's tons of Batman animated series too.
You know what was really good? And they stopped making was those the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
That was great. That's up there with the the Spectacular Spider-Man show also.
Those felt like the comics,
Yes,
even though
they were.
the animation was a little bit, lackluster.
They were. They literally just took the characters from the comics and just put them on screen.
They look like them. They did the storylines.
And they did the storylines too.
And it all connected and it like built to something. I was sad when they canceled that. They always have a good thing and they fucking cancel it and give you something shitty. Because
remember we had the creator of that on.
Greg Wiseman was of the Spectacular Spider-Man and Gargoyles and Young Justice.
Young Justice.
Oh my
that's
God!
right. Sorry,
Year
not-
one of the podcast, Greg Wiseman came on. That was crazy.
I think I'm gonna put Justice League at the top.
That's an all-time show.
Yeah, that's like you could throw that on and it's still entertaining. It's still great. It's still better than anything that we've gotten. So
yeah, they were. Back in the, what is it? I think that was in the 90s. Oh, no, this was early 2000s.
Yeah,
but
early
that
2000s.
whole run by Bruce Timm,
Yep.
I mean, he was just killing.
On Cartoon Network, yeah.
Yeah.
And you had Justice League Unlimited. And all the.
Which was great too.
Yeah.
Both also great. I think they had Unlimited, they had 2 episodes. They were back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So they would continue into another episode. So it would almost be like an hour long.
It was an hour.
Everything that Bruce Timm has been involved in is good. All right. Good stuff. Good. Let's do some news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation. Oh.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
I stick it up my asshole.
Whoa. Lisa Morrison, listener, and she's in our Facebook group, and she's a badass. She had the comment of the week about our last episode 400, where, Ruggs was, we had a bad variant, Ruggs, sitting in.
How's this variant?
This variant
Better?
is fantastic.
Get the fuck out.
You are perfect.
Okay, good.
Lisa Morrison says, on this week's very special Jock and Nerd 400th podcast, time, space, reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a prism of endless possibility, where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities, creating alternate worlds from the ones you know. I am the listener. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if Rug Boy was as apathetic as Anthony?
Oh, shit.
Which is how she came across you last episode. That's fucking hilarious, first of all.
I figured out
points.
I figured out the way to stay awake during the show.
Which is what?
Every 20 minutes, I'll grab one of my testicle hairs and pull it out.
That's also the secret to crying on camera. You just pull out a pube.
Is that what they do?
I don't know. That's what Joey does on Friends. That's his, that's his method.
I mean, that seems kind of genius.
Yes. I mean,
You pull out a nut hair?
yeah, that's going to make you tear up right away.
You won't fall asleep, I'll tell you
No,
that.
behind the scenes of acting there. It's not acting, people. It's just
It's smell the
torturing.
fart acting.
Yeah. You just blink. Oh, God. I missed that one. But fantastic comment, Lisa, of course. Nailed it. That's fucking hilarious when I read that. And then Daryl K gives us his what if episode rankings after episode 7. Here's how his rankings go from bottom. Least favorite, Yellow Jacket, then Captain Carter, then Zombies, then Thor's Midgard Rager, and top 3, he has Doctor Strange, Killmonger, T'Challa, Star-Lord. You know what? I'm not mad at that listing. That's not bad. I would put Captain Carter at the bottom.
Not mad at that.
Yeah.
I think Captain Carter is the bottom for me, but.
And
she's always the bottom for me.
Oh shit! I set you up for that one. Well done. See, Ruggs is back.
He is.
Actually,
back.
I like her on top.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean that again. The Doctor Strange episode, though. The more I think about, I fucking love that one. Although Killmonger was good. Let's see if they can wrap this shit up. Okay. Speaking of wrapping shit up, let's finish with some. What are we watching? Anthony, have you been watching anything?
Trying to think. No.
Nothing happens.
it's like TikTok dances.
I stick it up my asshole.
That's what he's been watching.
I was out a lot this weekend, so I didn't get a lot of time to watch.
He's like
things.
Party Thor. Anthony is our Party Thor.
I was party. Yeah, I was
Release the foam.
peak party mode. Almost too much, actually.
All that foam you're ingesting at the foam party.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out.
Just going up my asshole.
Yeah, it just goes up here.
I stick it up my asshole.
It's absorbed through right into the veins, right into the bloodstream. Ruggs, what are you watching?
Oh, I've been watching lots of shit. I revisited a movie that I saw a while back called The Villainous.
Okay.
I've talked about it before.
Yes.
It's this Korean film about a woman who is a killer that I guess works for the Chinese gang or whatever, or a Korean gang or whatever it is. I don't remember that. I'm getting confused. Two movies confused again. But anyway, she has to she goes to get revenge and kills a bunch of guys and then survives this whole thing, and they kind of make her work for them. Like the people, whoever captures her, they you're going to work for us. And they basically make her into a, you kill for whenever we tell you to kill. And there's just so many crazy action sequences in this. It's maybe 2 or 3 really good ones. And they're all shot first person perspective.
Oh, wow.
And then it switches to another perspective.
Whoa.
And it's super gory.
Whoa.
And there's a bus scene that I remember watching. And when I watched Shang-Chi, I was like, oh, another bus scene. And this one's kind of brutal. And it's the last scene in the movie. But it's just a crazy, brutal movie. And I wanted to revisit it. It was for a good female action-oriented film.
Right on.
Also, I watched another movie that's on Netflix called The Night Comes for Us. And it stars Iko Uwais, who was from the Raid movies.
Okay.
And it's a martial arts film. And this is probably one of the goriest martial arts films I've ever seen. And I've watched the Raid movies and the Raid 2.
The Raid movies are very graphic.
Oh, yeah, this is the same thing. They're using blood. There's dismemberments. There's people getting sawed in half.
Jesus.
Oh,
There's
shit.
fucking jaws exploding.
Oh, my God.
It's fucking bananas.
Wow.
And I don't even like that shit, but I was just all right. I'm like, there's got to be some good martial arts. And there's a lot of great martial arts in this, but there's a lot of gore. It's so violent.
Wow.
If you really like violent movies, that's the one to watch. It's fucking it's unflinchingly fucking violent. I mean, there's some of it that's kind of the point of silliness.
Right.
But they're throwing people out windows. There's one guy who busts his head through the window, and then the guy grabs his head and puts his head down on the broken glass and drags it across.
Oh.
It's just fucking brutal.
God.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's basically about a guy who works for the Triad and decides to like leave them. And so now everybody they send everybody to kill him. And
what's that called? The Night
it's
Comes.
called The Night Comes for Us.
Comes for
and
Us.
I also saw Kate.
Oh yeah, that's that action movie on Netflix. Is that any good?
It's like Jane Wick. I enjoyed it. It wasn't a great movie. There's one scene that looks straight out of a video game. Like she's driving a car and the car looks like you're playing like Need for Speed.
Oh, wow.
Like it looks really bad. I'm like, you should have not put this scene in the movie. It makes the movie look so much cheaper. But I enjoyed that one as well. It's not a great movie. It's very predictable. And of course, it's like Jane is beating up the crap out of everyone before she dies. And so,
Jane,
that's Kate.
Played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I was about to say Elizabeth Olsen.
Who was the huntress in the Birds of Prey movie. And Woody Harrelson's in this?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a nice little action film. It's worth watching. I watched all those, and then I also watched the same shit that you watched.
Well, let's talk about sticking to the Japanese theme. Star Wars Visions, the anime anthology released on Disney Plus, consists of 9 episodes ranging in length from anywhere to like 15 minutes to like 22 minutes. They're all very short. So it's a quick watch. I did watch all of them. You watched all of them, Ruggs?
No.
Oh, you didn't watch all of them?
I think I'm on the last couple.
I'll tell you what, the different animation styles are kind of fun as you go through the episodes. There are some that I really liked, and then there were some that are just like, okay. So overall, it's a fun watch, and it's quick. But there's definitely some standouts that were a lot better, and then some just like crazy anime suspension of disbelief sometimes. Like there's one where they're literally standing in the vacuum of space on top of X-Wing fighters and a Star Destroyer, and they're just fighting without helmets.
I was trying to fathom like how they could pull that off. I'm like, is it the shields?
No, it's just
Is it the shields that are keeping the air in there?
X-Wing in space, in front, on top. Is it the force that's holding you? I don't know.
I don't know. I fucking don't know. That was like improbable, and that was really stretching.
That was
it.
the episode called
My
The Twins.
favorite episode is the one with the 9 Jedi.
The 9th Jedi is a very good episode.
That's my favorite one.
There's one called The Elder that's really good too, and
yeah, that's also very good.
And then the other one I liked was Lop and Ocho, which is the second to last episode. So
okay,
and then my least favorite is the one that was like about the band. I mean, it's kind of cute, and Jabba the Hutt was there, and Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And they're a band. They're playing music, and they're trying to like win their freedom from Jabba. It's very cartoony. Whatever.
Here's the question I have for you guys: is this canon, or is it just its own thing?
I don't think so, but I think that the 9th Jedi could. It exists in a space where it could be a story that they could tell.
There's a few of these they could extend and make their own things.
Because what they did in that one is that they did this like, let's say like 1,000 years after what we watch in the movies, and there's no more Jedi and there's no more Sith, and they're starting to re-emerge, and they're trying to rediscover the old like lightsabers, how to make them. All that knowledge has been lost. And I thought that was interesting. All right, you're just kind of and this is how you make it new. All right, you have the old Jedis, but now you come up with a new way and there's room for that there, and it was cool. And I thought it was
animated really well, and I thought it was cool how there's like a lightsaber smith, like still a guy who makes lightsabers, and he's trying to call the remaining Jedi. I thought it was interesting that some of these took place like between, like after Return of the Jedi. Some of them took place during when the Empire was at its height. You know, it took place in all different time periods of the Star Wars universe.
Right.
And there's some good Star Wars shit. It looks cool. You know, the first one, the duel, is animated kind of cool, and he's a Ronin, and it's just a straight up a samurai.
That was awesome, yeah.
And it's just a battle. So it's fun watch, quick watch. So
yeah, I'm glad I saw it.
I think Star Wars fans are going to dig it because there is a lot to dig in there, and
it just shows you that Star Wars isn't just what you think it is. It could be so much more. And if you're not like, there's so much out there to actually like there's aliens and they're interesting. There's robots.
There's the droids, and then the politics of the galaxy, and then just fucking Jedis. Cool shit. This cool.
Yeah.
And then I started watching. So on the Discord, Jose Ibarra turned us on to a new show on Netflix, and this show everyone's going to be talking about, Anthony, I guarantee. You may have heard about it already. It's called Squid Game. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, he sticks it up his asshole.
I stick it up my asshole. One of my, I saw someone talking about or put it on their social media that they were watching Squid Game, and I had no clue what it was.
Holy shit, this is going to be a big show for Netflix. It is a Korean drama thriller.
Oh, 안녕하세요.
Yes, and
감사합니다.
I'm actually, I watched the first 2 episodes. I watched it dubbed. The dubbing is actually not bad. They did a really good job. And basically, it's like Hunger Games meets The Running Man, meets a little bit of Willy Wonka, meets a little bit of the movie The Game. Here's the setup is that you meet a bunch of characters in Korea who are in financial distress. You know, the main character, he's like he's a dad whose wife divorced him. He only spends time with his daughter a little bit, but he can't afford to take care of her. He's got gambling debts. There's other people. They owe money to the mob. They all have this interaction with this person who finds them, and they play a game with them on the spot, and it's like throwing paper on the ground to flip. Anyways, he entices them. They win a little money, and then he's like, gives them a card. And he's like, look, if you want to play more games, call this number. So a bunch of these people call this number. They get picked up by a van, and then they get gassed, and they get knocked out, and they show up in this warehouse room with a bunch of bunk beds, all in the same jumpsuit, all with a number on them. They meet the people running this game. These people are all wearing red jumpsuits, and they have these crazy masks with PlayStation buttons on them. Like it's just a circle or a square.
Yeah, it's weird.
They look like PlayStation buttons. And anyways, they're like, you guys are all here. Let's play the first game. The first episode is called Red Light, Green Lights. They play kids games, right? Except this one, when you're eliminated, you are eliminated, like from life. In the first episode, it's so dark. It hooked me instantly. That you get so much wonderful character depth from little moments that you're instantly like guessing what these characters are going to do. Are they going to stay in the game? What happens next? This fucking show is amazing. This is how I know. Let me tell you, in the second episode, there's a sequence of events. They're voting on whether to continue playing. Now, the 3 characters you meet, each one goes up, and each time they give you so much character depth. I'm like, okay, this guy's doing this. He's got this. I know how he's going to vote, whether to stay in or go. 3 times what I thought logically this character would do, they fucking did the opposite.
Oh, shit.
I was like, oh shit, this show got me. Like, it's so unpredictable. I could not get, I was like, this character logically is going to make and they did the other. And I love that. It is very good. I'm hooked. I can't wait to finish it. Squid Game, I'm telling you, people are going to be talking about this one. Check it out.
It's worth it. Have you seen the whole thing?
I just watched the first 2 episodes and they're great.
And it's in Korean?
You can watch it in Korean with subtitles or dubbed. And the dubbing isn't bad.
Dope dubbing.
It's not bad, dude. The main guy, actually, he reminds me of like a Korean John Cusack. He's like, he's kind of a lovable goofball, but like he's trying to be good and you kind of root for him.
Is it violent?
Yes. Yes. But like I said, if you don't play well in the game, you are eliminated for real. So it's shocking and it's like, what the fuck? And the whole time you're thinking, holy shit, what would I do in this situation? What would I do here? There's a lot of money. So that's another great mark of the show.
I need to ask an important question. Yes. Is there boobs?
I don't know yet. 2 episodes in, I haven't seen any, but there could be.
No boobs.
There could be.
Koreans make some good stuff.
They make some good shit. I've heard a lot about some great Korean movies and dramas lately.
I just told you about
one. You told me about a couple.
One of my other friends, besides Ruggs, always talks about like how good Korean movies are. I
think we've been missing out.
Sleeping. Yeah, you gotta watch Train to Busan.
Train to Busan. I want to watch the sequel is out. The Peninsula, I think it's called, to Train to Busan. But yeah, they make great horror movies. No, there's a lot of great Parasite. That guy's Korean, wasn't he?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that guy is Korean. Yeah,
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer is very good. But this fucking Squid Game, fantastic. Great visuals. It's trippy. It's delightfully dark. I highly recommend it. 2 episodes suck me in. So
if I stop my partying, we can be all
if you watch Squid Game, we will review the whole season. Like, it's that good because it makes you want to ask questions to somebody about, holy shit, what would you have done if this was the situation? Like, there's so much to dive into. It's fantastic.
Take your word for it. Maybe I'll check it out.
Okay. I think there's only 10 episodes, I believe.
어떻게 지내세요?
What does that mean? Hi, how are you?
How are you? Yeah.
That's pretty good. In Korean, it's pretty good.
In Korean, yeah. That's all I got. I had 3 things I could say in
Korean.
Korean.
A polyglot yourself.
I am.
You are.
I'm a polyglot.
Season 1. Oh, it's only 9 episodes. So, all right, even better. All right, again, out this week. Just to remind everybody, go watch Venom. Let There Be Carnage. We'll be reviewing it next week right here on the show. And bonus, that Sopranos sequel, Many Saints of Newark, out on HBO Max this Friday as well. Ooh. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one.
That seems. I don't feel like I've heard about that. That should be highly anticipated. No,
that's got Tony Gandolfini's son playing a teenage Tony fucking Soprano.
And is HBO doing it?
HBO is making it, and it's going to be theater and HBO Max on Friday. I'm going to check it out.
Gabagool.
If you like Sopranos, you are watching this movie.
Gabagool.
Where are the gabagool?
The gabagool.
Christopher. Anyways, that's it for this week. Ruggs, where can the listener find you online?
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You can find me on, me do my Tony Soprano. You can find me on fucking, you want to find me? I'll tell you where you fucking find me, all right? I'll fucking tell you where you fucking find me, all right? It's not bullshit. You go on Twitter and you go fucking find Really Rug Boy. That's where you find this motherfucker right here. All right? Now go fuck yourself. I really don't give a shit. Yeah, I mean,
that was good.
That's a good Gandolfini. That's not bad. I think that was like...
That's the only impression I do.
Yeah, but you should have played Mario.
It's the same, because it's me.
You should have got Ruggs should play Mario in the fucking Mario movie.
Hey, Luigi, where does the gabagool?
Hey, Luigi, give me that fucking wrench over there, you fuck. What are you doing?
I need to rake this shit out.
Hashtag rake lives. All right, anyways, that's it for this week. Visit the website, the show notes. Thanks for listening. Share the show with a friend. Tell them to listen and geek out with us here at the Jock and Nerd Podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
We'll peep you next time.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. That's really good.
I fucking loved it. I stick it up my asshole. How many times do you play that?
Jock and Nerd. Best clip ever.